Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to take a look at using our new MTPredictor scripts on TradingView to uncover potential trade setups. But as usual, we have to look at our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and training purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. Right, so today I'd like to have a look at this TS3 W3 Wave 3 trade setup that's unfolded here on a 3-minute chart of the NASDAQ, the NQ E-mini. For those of you who are new to MTPredictor, we're not a black box system. We don't take automatic setups blindly as if they're a 100% black box system. We don't do that because we know and understand that markets are random about 50% of the time. In other words, about half the time the markets are not in a clear position, therefore you shouldn't be looking for any potential trade setups. So of course the question arises, how can we then decide when the market pattern is clear? Well, for this we use a higher time frame chart. If you're on a 3-minute chart, you'd go out to the 15-minute chart. If you're, say, on a daily chart, you'd go out to the weekly. If you're, say, on a 15-minute chart for, say, Forex, you'd probably go out to an hourly. So we're looking for a time frame between 3 and 5 time frames higher. So let's show you how this works with our new scripts. I just want to use the bar replay in TradingView and go back to just before this low here unfolded on the higher time frame. What we do is we place our DPs from prior swing pivot highs and lows. With our new scripts this is easy. We can grab and drag the helper. There's a little helper square that appears there. Do you see that? We can grab and drag that to previous pivot highs and lows. So I'm just going to drag that to here. And as you can see, that gives you an area of potential support. Notice how it's on the chart in advance. It's there before the market gets there. I'm just going to put a little rectangle around that so it stays on the chart as we change time frames, and just put a little reminder of what that is so we can see when we change time frames. I'm just going to lock that so it doesn't get dragged around. So that gives you an area of potential support. Notice how it's on the chart in advance. It's before the market gets there. If I turn training mode off, you can see that the market went down to that level. Do you see that? It went down to that level and then reversed at that low there. So what that means, if we now go down to our shorter time frame chart, can you see this? This is what we're looking for. We're looking for the market to make a reversal off our projected levels. When that happens, we deem that the market pattern is clear. In other words, it's doing what we anticipate, therefore the picture is clear, therefore we can then start to look for trade setups in the shorter term direction. Because this is a support zone, we'd then be looking for buy setups, so we wouldn't be looking for sells. So you can see there was a history triangle there. Do you see that little green triangle? That was a potential sell. Even though our MTP trend was grey, you'd be avoiding that because the large degree trend was up. At these setups here, you'd have to look at where the DP support and resistance was in relation to the prior pivots to see whether the large degree trend was still down at that time. That's why we're only looking for what the market's doing after this low. So you'd be avoiding that sell, but this is a good potential trade setup because the buy is now in the larger degree up direction, up off this potential support. Our MTP trend helps agreeing with this by being blue, therefore this would be a good one to consider. If we now place the analysis on the chart, this is really easy in our new scripts because we have a helper that goes on the pivot, so we can grab and drag these around. You can see we actually had this on the pivot high before, but once you've got it on the chart, so for example if it was on the chart here somewhere, all you do is grab and drag it to the correct place and it would then place the analysis on the chart there for you. So I'll just grab and drag it onto that blue buy bar at the TS3 low, the TS3 buy low, and then it will place the analysis on for you. Very easy indeed, as you can see. The market went up nicely and then reached your first target where potential 5.4 hour profit was available. Remember, losses can and will and do unfold. This is why we use position sizing, in this case risking less than 2% of a sample $20,000 account, but obviously you can change those settings in the script if you wish to. If you come down here, you can then change your account size and your percentage risk as well. So that allowed you to then go long one contract. If this was a losing trade, remember losses can and will and do unfold, then that would have been a -1 hour loss. But can you see how that loss would have been small in relation to the +5 hour profit at the first target? For you guys who are a bit more experienced, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that risk reward analysis off for a second, but leave the levels on, because I'm going to do a bit of a manual analysis here. Because if I go back to the 15-minute chart, where was the next main resistance area? Well, I'm going to take the DP, grab and drag it back up to this pivot high. So this would be the next higher time frame resistance zone, the next major resistance zone. Again, that would have been on the chart in advance. You can see the market did indeed rally up to that level. So I'm just going to place a little rectangle around that so we can keep it on the chart as we come down to that shorter time frame. So let's just lock that as well. So let's go down to the shorter time frame now. And you can see there the market did indeed go up to that 15-minute resistance level. I'm now going to place our manual risk reward level on, script on. So here we can now choose the entry levels. So I'm going to click on the bar of entry, the bar of the stop. I'm then going to place it up here somewhere, the profit target, because it needs to be a long trade setup. Long. Okay. I think the bar there, I've got the wrong bar for the entry there. Sorry about that. The stop level should be there, and the entry level should be there. That's it. I clicked on the wrong bars. So you click on the bar of entry, the bar of the stop, then the target level. I'm just going to grab and drag this up to the higher time frame DP. You can see in our new scripts this is really easy because you can grab and drag. Just want to check that's on the bar, the correct bar there. That is on that bar high there, isn't it? Just make sure it's on that correct bar high there. Yes, the entry and the stop are on the correct levels. So if I now go up to the 15-minute resistance area, that was the higher time frame target. You can see that would have increased our profit from around about 5 hour, which was at the typical wave 3 WPT, to nearer 9 hour, 8.9, so just under a 9 hour profit. So a very good trade indeed. So that shows you the tools we have in our new MTPredictor scripts and how easy they are to use, with a trade example that's just literally unfolded on a 3 and 15-minute chart of the NQ. You can see this is live data coming in here now. And it looks like the market is indeed putting a high in at our higher time frame resistance zone. So a good example of using the MTPredictor scripts on TradingView with an example on the 3 and 15-minute NASDAQ.